5 fall camp storylines surrounding the Vols. You can read this on offthehooksports.com. It is there. And I'm going to go. Can I pare it down just a little bit? Good morning, Billy, to you, because I'm going to take out Joe Milton because that's the number one, right? And you've got it as number one. And I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give away the ending there. But how much has Joe Milton developed? That's number one, right? And we'll know that within a couple of weeks, I would think. And not just develop, but on the same page as his wide receivers, which talking to Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton at SEC Media Days, that's oftentimes the reason for some of those errant throws. So I'm going to take that one and let's address first, which we usually don't do. But Joe Milton, how much has he developed? I don't know how much we'll hear during fall camp because they keep it pretty tight, but we'll see enough to know whether he's on the same page as his receiver. So that is the biggest storyline by far, correct?
Yes, and I'm one who likes to go out on a limb for predictions, but they have to be reasonable. They can't be picking Vanderbilt to win the SEC like 5 writers did 2 weeks ago. Like, and not having Joe Milton's development number one would be like picking Vanderbilt to win the SEC. You're not serious if you don't think Joe Milton, the questions surrounding Joe Milton are the biggest question surrounding Tennessee football this year. You're right. We've heard everything we've heard in the offseason has been good about Joe Milton. Everything. To a point, Dave, I don't know if you know a time. Have you ever heard this much positive coverage for a quarterback and then they turned out to just completely flop in the season? I can't think of one.
Oh, wow. Well, you'd have to say Jonathan Crompton, right?
Was he getting?
I mean, he
that
was
all season with Dave Clawson. Was he getting that type of hype though?
Well, he was hyped as a recruit and didn't pan out. Does that count?
No, I know a lot of hyped quarterbacks as recruits that didn't pan out. I'm talking about quarterbacks that the all season you heard nothing but good about the quarterback in an all season, to the point to where like you've heard the rumblings on campus. You're closer to campus than I am at this point, and everything you've heard is it's as good as you could expect it to be with Joe Milton, and that's what I've heard too.
Then I'll take Jonathan off the list because there was Hurt coming in. There was B.J. Coleman when he was healthy, so you're always wondering. This is solely one quarterback that Tennessee expects to take over. And yes, we've heard absolutely fantastic things from Joe. But the other 4 questions fit right in with what we like to do, and it's called 4 Downs. And it's brought to you by Zen Sports, changing gambling in Tennessee. 4 Downs is now.
4 Downs. 4 questions. 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show. 4 Downs. A presentation of offthehooksports.com.
So we're going to touch base on running back, linebacker, offensive line, and the secondary. The linebackers somehow avoided our spotlight, but we'll get to them eventually. So we'll start with first down, talking linebackers, and it's brought to you by Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. That means no more deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares. And you know what I'm talking about. On Zen Sports, what you see is what you get with their cash rewards program. You get a lot of cash. For a welcome bonus, earn an unlimited 5% cash back on your betting volume with your first 15 days. When you sign up with the promo code HOOKED, that's right, unlimited 5% cash back. Keep betting, keep earning with up to 3% cash back on your betting volume every month after that. And refer friends to earn a percentage of their betting volume as cash rewards as well. Zen Sports bringing the cash back to Tennessee. So if you bet big on sports, you want to be betting on Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better, and it got a lot better. I was playing with the app this weekend. Pretty darn cool. So let's get to it. First down. What down is it, Cooper Mays?
Coop here. First down.
Thank you very much. Will Arian Carter make a push at linebacker? So he did address linebacker. Who was I? What was I thinking? I guess I was thinking wide receivers. We don't have receivers in this group, but Arian Carter, will he make a push at linebacker? So unlike the old 4-3 or 3-4 days, we're pretty much talking about 2 linebackers. And Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a pretty good idea who the top 2 are, right?
Yes, we pretty much expected to be Keenan Peely and Aaron Beasley. It was pretty obvious Tennessee took Keenan Peely specifically to replace Jeremy Banks, and Aaron Beasley is a returning starter. So yes, those two we expect them to start.
So, what do you define Arian Carter making a push as? Because he will make a push. He will get on the field. I even wonder if he's athletic enough in some running downs to maybe slide into that nickel position and have a little bit more of a traditional 4-3. That's me going out on a limb. That's nothing I've been told. But will Arian Carter make a push in preseason camp?
Yes, I think he will, and that's exactly what I predicted. I think you might see Tennessee do more traditional 4-3 defenses this year. I mean, this would be, given the questions in the secondary, which then and things we know that are issues on defense, this would probably be the best year for them to have one of those standard 4-3 Chavis style seasons. Remember how Chavis was all these blitz packages and drop the secondary in zone and just hope that the blitz packages would force errant throws. And you might see a lot more of that this year with Arian Carter.
I could certainly see that. And with Arian Carter, I believe he will make a push. Is it, as a freshman, is it a push enough to overcome Beasley or Peely? Probably not, but they'll find ways to get him on the field. I firmly believe that with some sort of rotation. Maybe he's part of their pass rush package when it is passing downs. Maybe he's a bigger nickel back on running downs, but they're going to find a way to get him on the field, no doubt about it. Second down.
You said nickelback. I knew you were a fan.
Did I say nickelback?
You said nickelback.
Well, I found a good band over the weekend. Portishead. Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't actually.
Check them out. I'm getting hipper. By the day. Second down, Coop.
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
All right. Superstars at defensive tackle. I'm going to tell you. You tell me who can be a superstar at linebacker or defensive tackle, excuse me. And I'm going to tell you who should be if he's mentally ready. And this comes from people with inside the program.
I mean, I think the clear one is Amari Thomas. Josh Heupel didn't send him to SEC Media Days for no reason. And I mean, I thought that he proved himself good last year. He proved himself to be a good defensive tackle. But he's got the experience, he's got the production, and he's got the size. What's holding him back from being a superstar?
Okay. I think he'll be a starter. I think he will be, in my Tony Bennett voice that somebody asked for, he's going to be a crazy good cat on the defensive line. But I think that there is only one superstar right now, physically, that could take over games. I think that's Elijah Simmons. And I know that he was asking about Bennett, not Tony Bennett. Okay. Sorry.
Bennett Warren, the recruit.
Bennett Warren, the recruit. Okay, sorry. I thought he wanted my Tony. I was so happy about that. Okay, we'll get to Bennett Warren. The guy who should make the biggest impact, the most physically gifted, is Elijah Simmons. As somebody told me within the program, he should be putting people in trash cans on a regular basis. So,
is he agile enough for that, though? Wasn't that always the question with Elijah Simmons, that he could, because he's in a 4-3.
Yeah, I was told he's one of the, now that Darnell Wright's gone, he is one of the more athletic big men on the team. So we'll see if he takes that step. He needs that angry edge, and he's a nice guy and he sings the national anthem, and that's fantastic. But he needs the angry edge, Caleb. And if he gets that, Albert Hainsworth didn't have that when he showed up to the NFL. And Jeff Fisher says, you just got to get angry during plays. Now, that went a little bit too far.
Did he start stomping on players' eyes?
Yeah, against the Dallas Cowboys. But he said he would flip a switch and he would almost see red during the game. Elijah Simmons needs to talk to Albert Hainsworth. And the
problem is, those players sometimes have trouble turning it off. Like Albert Hainsworth, like you said, he probably was zen at the NFL because he had some issues in college, i.e. chasing Will Offenhuser with a 10-foot pole. And so, I mean,
greatest practice moment of all time, and it's not even close. He says he was missing the Tony Bennett. Well, you got it back, you grease gats. All right, so I think it should be. You use the word superstar, not me. Okay, you didn't say best defensive tackle. You use superstar in your column. That should be Elijah Simmons, based off what I'm told. So we got what down are we? Coop, I lose track of downs. That's why I keep you around.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
All right. Third down, the offensive line rotation. What will it be? How do you see that shaking out, Caleb?
My prediction is there's still the same alternation that happened between Gerald Mincy and J.J. Crawford last year at left tackle. It's going to happen at right tackle because based on what reporting we've heard, even though Gerald Mincy's better, he doesn't seem mentally equipped to lock down that spot for the whole season yet. He just doesn't seem mentally there to be able to do that yet.
May I sound like a broken record because I asked about those two guys last week. Mentally equipped or not, I don't know, but he needs to be meaner than darn it, just like Simmons. He needs to be meaner than darn it. Either get it and move forward and be a great player. He is significantly more gifted than Crawford. So they're either going to have to go with the guy that is not as gifted but plays hard all the time, or they're going to have to go with the guy who is more talented but might misstep and might not be aggressive because of his uncertainty. So I can tell you that's the question at right tackle from within inside the program. What else you got?
Okay, so then we go to the left side. And I think John Campbell Jr. is going to lock down that left tackle position. I don't know what you've heard, but I do think he's going to lock. So it sounds like left guard is the biggest question then. Andres Carrick, maybe? Would you say him?
I think it'll end up being Carrick. I think Jordan Addison has a lot of ability to play somewhere, but again, he has to that switch has to flip in which he's physically mean all the time. They got two or three guys up front that need to be meaner. But if I had to put my money on it, I would say Carrick at left guard. And then, of course, Cooper Mays at center. And then what do you think of right guard?
That one's obvious. Javonte Spraggins.
Yeah, it's Spraggins. No question about it. But I think you got questions at left guard and right tackle based off a conversation that I had with somebody within the program just last week. So there you go. Inside information that we bring to you each weekday at 10. Brought to you today by Zen Sports. So we're already at fourth down. Man, we're running faster than the Josh Heupel offense.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Oh, that's third down.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
Thank you, Coop. Get the snap count correct. Come on. Who steps up
this
in
is
the
Missouri-Colorado 1990 game.
Exactly what I was thinking. We spend too much time together. Who steps up in the secondary?
It's the question. It's the question of the year for Tennessee.
Save the toughest for last, did I?
So Tennessee returns a strong safety in Jalen McCullough, who has some legal issues, so we don't know when or if he'll see the field this year. He should, I think, but that's a different story. Wesley Walker came on strong at free safety last year. So I'm going to go Wesley Walker. I think Wesley Walker is the most sure bet to kind of break out this year at safety for Tennessee.
What do you think about Danico Slaughter?
I hear they're thinking he's going to lock down a cornerback spot this year, and wasn't he alternating at nickel last year?
Yeah, and he played some corner. This is not inside information, but I will ask about it since you brought up the question, and I feel a little unprepared. I think there's a star in him somewhere as a lockdown corner.
Really?
That's just watching his hips and what he did last year and hearing some stuff way, way back months ago. But I'll ask about him this week and see what I can figure out, and we'll have it later on the program for Danico Slaughter. But other than that, who are some candidates, Caleb?
You're looking at Warren Burrell's back healthy after missing all of last year, starting with the Pittsburgh game. Have you turned into a thanks but no thanks guy for Kamal Hadden, or do you think that he has potential? I thought he had a lot of potential when he transferred from Auburn 2 years ago, but he was awful last year in that number one cornerback.
I'm pretty much a thanks but no thanks unless he proves me wrong, and I hope he does. But I'm pretty much a thanks but no. I'm right there. So I'm just not seeing that. Who else?
Yeah, I'm with that. So at that point, you go to Brandon. I'm looking at guys coming back first. Brandon Turnage. Are you thanks but no thanks, or do you see potential there?
I see potential there. I see potential in a lot of these guys. It's just some of these guys have to go from starter to star, at least one.
Yeah. And then you got Gabe Jeudy, the BYU transfer, who's going to be on the field. We just don't know where he's going to be on the field. And then you got the freshman, Jordan Matthews, Ricky Gibson. One of them got to become a star.
Yep, absolutely.